Before replacing the bearing on the emergency brake side, you will first need to remove the emergency brake lining, sheave bracket, and drive sheave.
To remove the TSM machine sheave side bearing, you will first need to remove the drive sheave. Below are the tools: rags, crescent wrench, 10mm Allen socket, 12mm Allen socket, ratcheting wrench, breaker bar, flathead screwdriver, rubber mallet, M8 bolt, Loctite 609, 13mm wrench. To remove the bearing, you will either use hydraulic bearing puller or portable grinder with chisel and hammer. To replace the bearing, you will need electric bearing heater, RTV, and bearing replacement tools provided by Tour and Drive. In addition, you will need grease EP number 2, grease gun, 30-ton hollow jack.
Begin by using the 8mm bolt to remove the key from the shaft. Use a 10mm Allen socket and ratcheting wrench to remove the inner bolts. Use a breaker bar and 12mm Allen socket to remove the outer bolts. Insert the M12 bolts as shown and then use a ratcheting wrench to push the mounting plate off. Insert 2 M12 bolts into the top housing. This will help to remove the cover. Remove the cover. If needed, use a hoisting strap and chainfall to safely remove the cover. Place a hydraulic bearing puller directly into the bearing so that it is grabbing the back plate. Pump the hydraulic puller until the bearing is removed. Use an electric bearing heater to heat the bearing and place the bearing directly onto the shaft. To push the bearing onto the shaft, begin by using the TSM bearing replacement tools. After installing the collar, insert the plate and then insert the M12 bolt directly onto the shaft. Affix RTV onto the back bearing plate. Insert M12 rod into the back bearing plate so that you can properly affix the cover. Next, install the holeless jack. Next, you will need to install the plate and then use a bolt to tighten the plate directly onto the jack. Pump the jack using 15 tons of force to ensure the bearing is pressed onto the shaft. Begin to remove the TSM bearing replacement tools. Replace the cover, ensuring you use the M12 bolt as a guide. Once the cover is in place, use the bolts to firmly attach the cover into the machine housing. Tighten the outer bolts using a 12mm Allen socket. Begin to remove the remaining tools from the bearing replacement set. Pack the bearing with grease if necessary. Apply RTV to the oil seal housing. Place oil seal housing directly onto the machine and then use a 10mm bolts to affix. Remove the threaded rod, then replace the rod with the bolt and then tighten all the bolts. Replace the key by adding Loctite 609 directly to the key and the shaft. Then hammer key down securely.